And the one last thing we want to talk a little bit about is for this JMA equation. We said the real fraction of conversion would be 1 minus exp to the power of ktn minus, okay? Again, in this case, when t time goes towards infinity, ktn goes towards positive infinity, and the exponential of negative infinity becomes 0, and 1 minus 0 gives us 1, which means when the time goes towards infinity, the fraction of conversion at most would be 1. Okay, but then for the n number, this table listed the possible value for different scenarios. The two columns, one is for interface control, one is for diffusion control. Interface control, for that, we are assuming the diffusion is relatively fast. The slowest step is rearrangement of the atoms near the interface from host phase to the precipitate or the new phase. While diffusion controlled model assumes the interfacial reaction is fast, the reaction is controlled by bringing the solute from far away to the interface, and it can have different values. And then in terms of growth geometry, we have three-dimensional or spherical growth. We can have two-dimensional or the growth of a disk, or even one-dimensional growth, which is growth of a needle, or even no growth, which means once the nucleus are formed, they do no longer grow. And for each of these scenarios, we would have different numbers for n. And you may ask, how do we determine the mechanism? Well, there are different ways. For example, if you have the kinetics, you can fit the kinetic data into different reaction models and see which one or two gives you the best fit, numerical best fit. And then for those that gives you the best fit, and check these and see, okay, what could be the possible mechanism. For example, when the n equals 1, there are at least three scenarios. And how to distinguish from between these three different scenarios? You may have to use methods such as microscopy. For example, if it's diffusion controlled but zero nucleation rate, which means it's a 2D growth model, then under ICM or TEM, you should see disc-shaped geometry. And if you do not see those, you probably can rule out this uh, mechanism as an explanation and focus on some other models that gives you the same number for n. Okay, and I think let's stop here.